All right, shall we begin? I see some familiar faces. I thought there were more. Hey, how's it going? How you doing? All right. I'm going to pass around an attendance sheet first, all right, just to make sure that you're in the right place, and if you're not on this list, let me know. All you'll need to do is look, you're just going to like initial in the little box, okay? I know it's really small, but I tried to put the whole semester on here. So look for your name. We'll try and remember to pass that around every day. Let's make sure you're in the right place. This is Cal 1, 2413, section 13, right? Cal 1. My name is Robert Di Giovanni, and I'll be teaching the class. All right. So everyone's in the right place? Yes? Okay, I don't want to take a huge amount of time to go through the syllabus, but I am going to cover some certain things. Does everyone know how to get into Canvas? Any questions on this? All right. By the way, I'm recording the class. That camera is going to be set up every class period. And barring any sort of technology hang-up that could happen, I'll post the video of this later today on YouTube. All right? And so you can always go back and refer to it. But, you know, there's always that disclaimer. Sometimes the video is, you know, something happens, someone hits the camera, I forget to turn my microphone on, right? Something happens, right? So don't depend on it, but just know that I'm going to try and at least have that for you. I moved from the other room or the other building into this building for the reason that I can project onto this screen. At the same time, I can write on this screen, and I also have a lot of boards to use, you know, in both directions. The camera's only going to catch it to about right here, all right, just so you know. So I'll try and stay within this little frame the whole time. But if I go off camera, hey, you know, that's what happens, all right? Okay, let's get in here. Sorry, I'm like sweating. I ran all the way down to my office because I thought I forgot something, and it was in my bag the whole time. So, oh well. All right, Cal 1. This is not Cal 1. This is not, okay. So this is our page. What I have provided for you already is the schedule, right, which shows did everyone get a copy? You should have three things. A schedule, this thing with like a box in it with like 4 boxes, and then a 3-page stapled together set of formulas. You need this? Okay. Here we go. Let me just grab them. Anyone else? Look at that. I already 3-hole punched them for you. I'm organized.
Thank you.
At least the first day. What's that?
I got a 3 pages stick.
That's all you got? There they are. I was wondering when trouble was going to walk in.
My bad. Bad with directions.
Did you see the note on the other building, or no?
No.
Okay.
I just asked for directions instead.
Okay. Hold on, I'll get these for you. You guys have a good break?
Yes.
Good. All right. Here, these are for you. There. Oh.
Not that bad.
All right. So here we go. I've provided this for you, right? These are your formula sheets. These are what you're allowed to bring to every exam, all right? Do not edit these. Don't add your own formulas to these unless I tell you you can. There are some points where I'll be like, okay, you can change this or add this. Other than that, this is what you should bring to the exams. Nothing more, nothing less, all right? The limit summary, right now it makes no sense. We'll be talking about this later. Just keep this handy. And then the schedule, which shows what we're going to do kind of day by day. So you can see today we're supposed to cover 1.3. Notice I have 1.1 and 1.2. I have review on your own, and I actually gave some homework assignments there. That's a review of functions and what does that say? Essential functions, right? So that's just going to kind of go back and look at some stuff from college algebra. We're not going to take any college algebra and pre-cal. We're not going to take any time out of this class for that, all right? Okay, so on our main page, let me go to the student view so it looks more like what it looks like to you. The first thing we have is this module's ebook access. The book for this class is electronic. Here's the actual physical book. If you want this book, you can just look at the syllabus and look up the ISBN. You can find this used, probably very cheap. This is probably an 8 or 9-year-old book. We've not changed it, all right? So, but you have access to the ebook. Has anyone tried to do this yet? Has anyone? No? Nobody's tried to click on that yet? You did?
That was like a few days ago.
Okay.
It was available last night at 9 p.m.
Okay, so you were actually able to get into it? All right, so you should be able to click on this, and it'll take you, just navigate through. It should take you to the ebook where you can access the book, right, if you wanted to read the sections, but more importantly, your homework assignments. These homework assignments that are at the end here, those are based on the ebook. So you go to the ebook, you go to the exercises at the end of that section, and you do those problems. Pencil and paper. Nothing's submitted online, all right? Everything's pencil and paper in here. So the reason I'm not going to collect the homework is not part of your grade. I'll show you that in a second. The reason why is because I provide solutions to 90% of the problems that I assign for you for homework. So if you click on that, homework solution videos, somehow on the first day this goes over people's heads. All your homework assignments, 90-something% of them, the problems, I have done them on camera already, all right? So you can use this as a resource to go, while you're doing your homework, my recommendation is that you try the problem, have the video there, and then as you're working, maybe play my video and, you know, see if you're on the right track. Do not just say, oh, he doesn't collect the homework, so I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to watch his videos, and that's good enough. Oh, I understand what he's doing. I'm good. Don't do that. That's how people fail this class, all right? You have to do the work yourself. So, but it's here, okay? Understand? Some of them are short, some of them are long. They're all, what, about an hour? This was several parts, so yeah, anyway. And then right above that is the class lecture videos. That's what's this camera right here. That's when you click on that, it'll take you to the playlist in YouTube, all right? The schedule is what you have in front of you. And then files, I'll show you files in a second here. Hello. I think that's going to be you here. Make sure you sign in here, initial in. Schedule files is going to take you to pretty much what you have in your hand. The schedule, the formulas you can have on the test. Notes, old exams reviews. These right here, the old exams reviews, that's just a folder I just haven't deleted. I will give you some sort of guidance for the exams, but there's some old stuff in here. I wouldn't bank on those, all right? But the notes are actually kind of important. I'm going to be in class following very structured notes. So if you have me for pre-cal, this is going to be very different. I'm way more organized in this class. So my notes here look like, oops, where did it go? Oh, there it is. So these are my notes, and I go through them, all right? And as I go through these, there's going to be all sorts of like animations and things like that that we're going to be doing. You can get to those notes in a PDF format. That means just a static printout format right here. Now, I'm not suggesting that you print this out and bring it to class. I'm not suggesting that. I'm just letting you know that they're here. If you need to go back and reference anything, notes, definitions, theorems, it's all in here, all right? Questions? I'm doing all right? All right, let's go back to our main page. So that's the main part there, the home page. Let's get to the syllabus, not going through the whole thing, all right? Just going to cover just briefly some stuff. Get over here. All right, so my office hours are here, all right? So office hours, you should know what office hours are by now, but it's a time where I have to be in my office 10 hours a week, all right? That means sitting there, watching YouTube videos, helping students, right? I'll sit there and watch YouTube videos if students don't show up, right? No, I won't, but you know what I mean? Like I'm sitting there just like waiting for students to show up and ask for help. Now, I anticipate this semester I'm going to be very busy in my office with students. I'm teaching Cal 1, Cal 2, Cal 3. So I'm sure I'm going to have students in there asking for help. So I'm available to you before this class for half an hour, right? Hold on, today's Tuesday, Thursday. Before this class for half an hour, and I'm thinking I'm going to move those office hours into this room. Like I'm just going to come to work, go to my office at like 8 a.m., get organized, come up here at 8:30 and be here because I have this class, and then right after this class I have Cal 2 in this class again. So I'm going to basically be in this room from 8:30 to almost 1 p.m. That's my idea. I'll let y'all know for sure. But scheduled 8:30 to 9, and then today, later, after I'm done teaching 2 classes, I'll be in my office from 12:45 to 2:45. Okay? Those are my office hours. You're welcome to walk in. You don't have to schedule an appointment. What I would do is, if you're going to drive across town to come to my office hours, that you just check your email, make sure that, because if something comes up, you know, someone gets sick, I get sick, something, I can't be there, right? I will send an email out to my classes. I would hate for you to drive here and then find out, oh, he was sick. So that's my Tuesday, Thursday office hours. Monday, Wednesday, it's 8:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. All right? So I know those are early. Pretty much after 3, I'm out of here. So if you need to schedule something later in the day, that'll be by appointment. And same with the Fridays. If you need to meet with me on a Friday, it'll have to be by an appointment. Questions? My office is in this building, first floor. It's kind of hard to find. You have to go outside the building into that big elevator shaft thing, all the way down, and then back in. There's no direct staircase in this building from the second floor down to the first. The engineers said they meant to do it. I think they forgot, personally. But all right, so I'm in the first floor. You go to JH111A, you go in there, and then you go to JH1110. That's where you'll find me. All right, I also provide you my cell phone number. All right, that's provided to all my students. All right, so if you need to ask me a question about, you know, a problem you're working on, you're stuck or something like that, you're free to call me or text me. If you text me, send me a picture of the problem you're working on, then a picture of any work you've done, and then also, you know, ask your question. I'll be happy to help you. Just remember that, you know how texts work. You're driving down the road, someone texts you, and then an hour later you forgot about it. The same thing happens to me, right? So I will try and respond. If it's something like, hey, I'm not going to make it to class today because I'm not feeling well, that's done through email. I don't need you to text me that, all right? But I don't want you to ever feel like you don't have like someone to ask for help, right? Like I'm always there. And don't worry if it's, well, I do go to bed kind of early. I mean, relative to when I was your age, I was going to bed at like 3 in the morning. But now I'm going to bed like 11 because I'm up at 5:36. So, you know what I mean? So just, you can try, but I may not respond past 11. All right, let's go through this. This is the department. If you need to get to the math department, that's the information. The materials I just told you, it's an e-book, but if you want to get the book, here's the ISBN. What can you use on exams? So you must have a scientific calculator. You must have a scientific calculator, something that has like sine, cosine, tangent, all that. You can have a graphing calculator. On exams and quizzes, you are not allowed to have anything that has a computer algebra system on it. That's a TI-89. Not many people have the TI-89. Okay, I do, but TI-89. And then there's also the TI-Nspire, but it has to say CAS on it. If it says like CX or something, it's fine. If you have any questions about the calculator, just let me know. All right. Also, right across the hall, room 308, they will let you check out graphing calculators for the entire semester. All right. So if you don't have a graphing calculator and you want one for the semester, go across the hall after class or some other time. Tell them, hey, I want a graphing calculator, and they'll take care of you. Okay. We have hundreds of them. Questions? All right, so the thing that you're probably most interested in is your grade, right? How I break down the grade for the class. So you're going to have quizzes in this class, and those can come in the form of anything really. I could just say, hey, I'm taking attendance today, it's a quiz grade. Or I could say, everyone clear off your desks, take out a piece of paper, do this problem. Or I could say, let's do this problem in groups. Or I can send you home with a quiz, whatever. It can be anything. All those quizzes bundled up together, whatever your average is, 10% of your grade, all right? Now I may drop 1 or 2, it depends on how many we take. If we only take 5, I'm not gonna drop any. If we take 10, I might drop 2, understand? We'll just kind of see how things go. And then you have 4 exams, 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4th one is the final, 20% each. The final is cumulative in the sense that you will need to know information from the whole semester, but it's not like I'm gonna go back and retest all these topics. The stuff on exam 4 has built into it the stuff from the previous exams. Like you can't do exam 4 unless you understood exam 1. Does that make sense? So I don't need to go ask you these problems again. They're gonna be kind of inherently in the work. But it is somewhat cumulative. The others are just, you know, exam 1 is everything we do up to exam 1. Exam 2 is everything between these two. Exam 3 is between these two. Understand? Yeah, yeah? Okay. So that means that pretty much your entire grade is assessment, right? Is testing. It's not, there's no like free part to your grade. There's no like, hey, I showed up, I got 5% because I was there every day, or, you know, or I got 5% for doing homework that he never checked. Hey, how's it going? Let's see here. We have seats? Do we have seats? Yeah, you can just pull this chair up. You want to sit right here? No, I'm kidding. Hey, how you doing? All right. No makeup exams, no test corrections, right? This is college level, Calculus 1. So that means you need to be prepared when you come to the exam, right? You need to be prepared. All right, attendance, you need to be here, right? Where's my attendance thing? Right here. Who else needs to, anyone else need to initial in? This didn't get over here. Oh, okay. If you could pass that over there when you're done. So attendance, I'm gonna try and keep track of attendance. I mean, this is college, right? Like, I really don't like to babysit, right? So you need to be here. If you're not here, and I start to notice you're not here, and your grades are bad, then, you know, you just need to be aware of the consequences. You can I can either drop you from the class, or I can just fail you also, which is kind of mean, but it could happen, all right? You get 4 free misses, right? 4 free absences, no questions asked, right? I'm not encouraging you to miss 4 times. I'm just saying, after 4 though, that's it. You're handing your grade to me and letting me decide what to do, all right? Exams, paper and pencil. I don't think we're gonna have integrity issues because the exams will be taking place here, but you know, I get surprised sometimes. Students will get their phones out and try and cheat during the exam. Just understand that I will proceed with the policy through the college if you're caught cheating on a test, which is it's reported and then whatever happens, happens. If you have a history of it, then, you know, whatever. But it won't be a, hey, please put that away, right? It'll be a, hey, let's leave the room and, you know what I mean? Okay, so let's not go there. Quizzes, I already told you, come in any form. Most of the time, quizzes will be based on the material from the previous class. So that means you need to have done your homework for the previous class. Everything here builds on itself. It's what kind of makes this class a little tough, is that you have to have done the homework from the previous class to be ready for that next class. And I know some of you, busy schedules, you're taking 15 hours, you're working 30 hours a week. You know, you have decided what to put on your plate, right? But for me, my expectation is that what we do today, you should be prepared the next class and understand that. If you don't understand that material between now and then, you need to get with me, tutor, whatever, to make that clear. Understand? Okay, behavior, this is just, I just have had this in here forever. So cell phones are a distraction, all right? I know you're paying to be here or whatever. I expect the phones to be away during class. If you need to do something important on your phone, just step out. That's fine, okay? You can leave the room, take your phone, go do what you need to do, come back, all right? Sometimes I'll be expecting an important phone call. I'll let you know, hey, I'm expecting a call. When my phone goes off, I'm gonna step out of class. I'll let you know that, all right? So just be respectful. Same thing with being disruptive. I don't have these issues, but it's here just in case. If you're being disruptive, or you're on your phone, or sleeping. Did I take sleeping out of there? I took sleeping out. I need to put sleeping back in there. It doesn't happen, but I like to have it in there. Well, it's disruptive if you're sleeping. It disrupts me. So this is the consequence for being on your phone or sleeping or being disruptive. You'll be asked to leave. I'll count you absent, so that's one of your 4. And the big one, 10% off your exam. So that makes, you can only get a 90 now, even if you did perfect. So it's kind of a harsh policy, yes? Okay, so homework. I talk here about homework, and I talk about the videos and getting help and make sure you do your homework. This is a new policy. If you've had me in the past, this is brand new. Pens versus pencils. You can only use a pen on an exam, or what you do on your homework, I don't care. But quizzes, exams, you can use a pen if you promise me you won't make a mistake. All right? If it's going to be perfect, then you can use a pen. Otherwise, use a pencil. Got it? If you need a pencil, I have plenty of pencils. I'll be happy to provide them for you. All right? This has to do with a lot of you are engineering majors or STEM, some sort of STEM. Engineers, let's see. Engineering. Okay, computer science. Biology. Okay, so we got about, who did I miss? What's yours again? Chem? Okay. So this is about communicating, all right? About you working on your penmanship in terms of communicating math to somebody else, right? So I want you to work on it. Even if you're like, oh, I just have bad handwriting. You can change that. I used to have terrible handwriting. You can change it. You just have to work on it, all right? Tutoring, come to me for help. But if you need tutoring, there's a tutoring available. There's 2 labs, one here, one over there, 316. Just click on this link, it'll take you to the labs. Everything else is just stuff. Oh, SOBI, we do need to talk about this. If you see something weird, right? Someone's acting strange, someone says something, you're like, report it. Tell me, tell somebody, right? And then, who knows. Exit points. We're on the 3rd floor. What do you think? Is this an exit point?
If you don't care about your legs.
3rd floor? So there's an awning right here. It's about 3 feet, okay? We just climb out right here. Now, once you get down there, we'll be jumping from, well, I don't know where this awning goes. I think it wraps all the way around the building. But either way, this is an exit point right here, all right? If we need to get through, now that window works too. So it's good to know, right? Just in case we get somehow hunkered down in here and we have to go somewhere, that is a way out, all right? Anything else? All right, that's it for the syllabus. There's a bunch of other stuff here that's the college puts in there, the schedule. Other than that, I think I've covered what I want to cover on Canvas. Yes?
Are the problems in the ebook the same ones as the one in the actual book?
Yes. Yep, the question was, are the problems that are in the ebook at the end of the sections the same problems or what's in the book? And the answer is yes. They're exactly, number 1 is number 1 and they're exactly the same. They change that and I'm screwed. It means I have to redo everything. All right, anything else? Other questions? All right, well, what I'm gonna do here, next class I'll fix this. I'm gonna move this whole thing down a little bit. I have to tilt the projector, so I'll need a ladder and screwdriver and stuff. I'll come back and do that later, but everything will be presented right here, right? I'm gonna keep this white screen up and write on the white screen, all right? And then I'll project over it. All right. I think we're ready. Attendance, everyone has their sheets. That only took half an hour. Shit. All right, so Cal 1, what are we doing in here? So what is Cal 1 about? Or maybe we should talk about what you need first, before, like what are the prerequisites for this class, right? So you had to take pre-cal, you had to take college algebra, right? There's like this path that's led you here. So what are the things that I expect? Prerequisites. Well, of course, you need to be able to solve equations, right? You need to be able to solve equations, all types of equations, linear equations, quadratic equations, rational equations, radical equations, right? And these things just kind of pop up, just, in different places. Hey, need to solve an equation. Do I need to list them out? I'll just say them again. Linear, quadratic, rational, radical, trigonometric equations, like sine of 2 theta equals 1. Solve for theta. That's pre-cal stuff, right? So solving equations is in here. What else? Unit circle. That's a big one. I know those of you who had me for pre-cal, I tried to beat this into your heads, right? Everybody in here needs to have a good grasp of the unit circle. That means if I sit here right now and I say, what is cosine of pi over 3? Nobody's breaking out a calculator. Nobody's breaking out a chart. It should be in here, right? You should be able to see that. Now, you may not, we had a good break, didn't we? So, cosine of pi over 3. Right? What is that? That's something you need to know that's based on the unit circle. We don't want to be dependent on a calculator for that. What is that, by the way? That's 60 degrees. So what's cosine of 60 degrees? So cosine is always the x-coordinate on the unit circle. When you're at 60 degrees, that is what? Well, it's that or what? It's one of two answers. What's the ordered pair there? What's the x-coordinate? Half. Y-coordinate? Root 3 over 2. Cosine of pi over 3 is the x-coordinate at this point, which is a half. Sine of pi over 3 would be the y-coordinate. So I'm bringing this up because I'm not going to sit here and reteach the unit circle. You need to make sure that you're comfortable with the unit circle. Notice on your formula sheets that you're allowed to have on your test, there is no unit circle, right? So you need to know these values. What else? I thought I heard something. Let's see. Those are things. Those are like the main things that you need to know coming in here. Calculus is a very independent subject, meaning it has prerequisites, but it's pretty self-contained in terms of the ideas of calculus. These are kind of like just the skills you need in order to do well in the class. The most important one of these prerequisites is work ethic. That's the most important one. And that's for every math class, but really important here in this class. All right? You've got to put in the time. You've got to put in the work. All right? This is grown-up math time, right? So we want to make sure you're leaving here, you're not cramming, trying to, I'm just do everything on Sunday night, I'll be fine. You want to be always working throughout the week, okay? Keeping up with things. Don't let things catch up to you. This is a class where you can really find yourself behind. And once the bus leaves the station, like it's hard to ever get caught up, all right? All right, so what is Cal 1 about? Has anyone heard anything about what Cal 1 is about? Like what's the point here for us? What are we doing here? Anyone? No? No one knows anything about calculus? Haven't heard anything about it?
Derivatives, limits. Using related rates to solve like word problems.
Word problems?
Like how much fits in a cone.
Okay,
Stuff
something like that? Okay. So limits, derivative, things like, okay, so if you don't know anything about calculus, that doesn't make any sense to you, right? Like limit, derivative, what is that? I want to talk about calculus 1 in more of a, like, what is the overall, like, goal, right? And it's a very simple one. It's a very simple goal, all right? Let's go back to any class you've taken before this and think about the graph of a function, all right? So let's say we have some function. This That would look like maybe a polynomial function, right? Nice and wavy. The goal of Calculus 1 is to see if there's any way that we can find where these highest and lowest points occur on the graph. Now, in college algebra, we actually could do that for a parabola, couldn't we? Like if you had a parabola, you could find the highest point or the lowest point. That was called the vertex, and there was a formula for it. Do you remember that at all? Negative b over 2a or something like that. That formula actually comes from calculus. I'll show you. We'll prove it later. But in general, if I give you any function, can you find the highest and lowest points? Can we? That's it. I mean, that's not the total like goal of Cal 1. But at the end of this class, that's going to be what we're going to be able to do. Give me any function, and let me find these highest and lowest points. And that will allow us to do a lot of other things. If we can do that, we can answer a lot of other questions, like word problems. And does that seem like a pretty simple, reasonable thing to go after? It's not too crazy of an idea, right? How we get there is kind of nuts, though. That's the part that's a little bit kind of like, okay, this doesn't seem very natural. All right, so the next thing I want to do is give you something to look at. All right, just a function. This is all just preliminary stuff yet, right now. All right, so I want you to consider this function, f of x equals x squared minus 4 over x minus 2. I want you to just take a look at that function for a minute. And I want you to think about what it would be for us to plug in some values to this. So like, for example, I want us to find f of 3. So what does that mean? Find f of 3. What am I going to do? Plug 3 in for x, right? That's all I'm going to do. All right. So if I plug in 3 for x, I square 3, I get 9. Take away 4, I get 5. So top's 5. The bottom is 3 minus 2, right? 1. So we get 5, right? Big deal, right? Big deal. Plugged in a value, right? What about this? Find, you're going to have to get used to my handwriting because I print everything. It's weird. All right, well, people tell me it's weird. I'm used to it. F of 2.